since we're from Idaho, we just feel a little bit of an investment in your marital success since that's where you guys met. And it's also where Shari Hawkins is from and from her hometown. So I was just wondering if you guys could speak a bit to your connection. It's so magnetic. I work at a university where we're kind of losing that ability to connect, and I just love, Tara, that you ran up to Hunter, gave him a hug. That was kind of the first time you met. What are you doing to encourage youth to continue to connect face to face and have those interpersonal relationships?
That is a really good question. I guess it starts with just getting out of the house, and being present with the people that you're around, and put the phone down and just try to connect. Ask someone their favorite color. I don't know. Like that's really how we met, is at a track meet. It's something that we both enjoy and something that we both passion. And then for me to go up on the track and hug him, and then we sit here, 8 years later, it's pretty insane. So I would just say, get up and get out. Go touch some grass. Like, we have to change this social media influence life that, like, there's still life out there, and
Yeah, I think just through action, like in the content we make and the things that we do, like that's what we do. Like, we love being outside, we love spending time with our friends and family and community, and like that's what makes all of this worth it. So I think just like leading through action, and then like we're doing other things like community events. Like Tara just had her second annual track and field meet where there was 1,500 athletes and 4,000 people, and it's like, what a great opportunity for kids to come out and engage with each other and be in a fun environment. And who knows what could happen. Like, we met at a track meet in high school, so maybe there's some other like little lovebirds out there making it work.
Your story is so inspiring in your affection for each other and your family as well. How do you both feel about either the opportunity or the pressure to use your platform to spread stories of overcoming obstacles and developing resilience? How do you feel about that?
I love it. I love sharing my mental health story. I love sharing ways that helps me get through my depression and anxiety and all of those wild thoughts that go in through my head. Like, I know I'm not the only person out there. And I know once in a while when I was going through social media, it was all about happiness and all about joy. And I was like, well, what happens when there is no joy? Like, what about those times where we need that or that support? And that's where I come in, and I'm not afraid to share my story. I'm not afraid to share that I struggle with depression and anxiety. It's all part of everyone's journey, and yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a little, like, it's a little scary to like go out there and be vulnerable about, things you're working on or trying to overcome, because you don't know what the outcome will be. And that's kind of like, I'm putting this out there. I don't know what's going to happen, and I know that this could lead to me being embarrassed about like what ends up happening. But I think, like Tara says, like we're not scared of that, because we're not trying to be someone we're not. Like, we are ourselves, and like we know bad things will happen. We know not everything's going to work out the way it is, but it's like in that like moonshot where it does hit and that dream does happen. It's like you can look back at all those difficult times and all those trials and be like, this is why all of that was worth it. And I think that's a really real example that we want to show to the next generation, and also just people who are like involved and invested in the story of like, two things can be true. Bad things can happen, and you can go through hardships, and you can also accomplish something really incredible and accomplish your dream. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would love to know if you had a favorite ancestor that you've never met that you really want to know more about. Let's say you had to go into a time machine and meet them. Is there anybody that inspires you that you've heard about in your family tree that you want to know more about?
I think my grandmother's mom, my great-grandmother, I should say. She talks about her often. She talks about how she's made her life, my grandmother, easier because she saw what my great-grandmother had to go through. What's crazy is that her last name or middle name was Rose, and Hunter's grandparents, their maiden names is Rose as well, so it's kind of cool to have that connection.
Lovely.
But yeah, I've seen so many pictures, and she's so gorgeous, and we have like the same little smile. I just want to see her. I just want to meet her one time.
My answer is actually the same. It'd be my grandma Rose. That was my dad's mom. And I mean, today we talked about like the powerful women in my family, and my grandma Rose, like, raise 4 children by herself in one room on like a bartender's salary, like, and like just the sacrifice that she put in. And like I was too young to ever meet her before she passed, but just to hear the way that my dad talks about her is like really inspiring.
Thank you for sharing that. And actually, I have a grandmother, Rose, and Rosemarie is actually a family name that runs in my family.
Wow.
So there we go.
We
Might
have
be cousins.
You never know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, you guys are an inspiration. Thanks for sharing your story. I'm wondering, I'm sure you have a lot of opportunities to speak and to share your message. Why did you choose RootsTech?
I mean, one of the big reasons is coming home, like being back in Salt Lake City and seeing my family. Like, I got to have my brother and his wife here. Unfortunately, my mom and dad couldn't be here. My dad just had open heart surgery, so he's recovering. But being home and just being back where it kind of all started is really special. And then we have such a strong connection to family and our community that, like, I don't know, it's like what better to like come and celebrate and share your story about than where you came from and the people who got you to where you are. So I think that means a lot to us.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Thanks,
much.
y'all.
Yeah.